We welcome you to another live edition of The Sports Box, your go-to sports podcast featuring great content, conversation, and your occasional disagreement. Stick around to interact and ask questions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
Good morning on a brisk Sunday in South Jersey. It is week 5 NFL pregame on the Sports Box. Brian Attard, Tony Quigley, Anthony Emilio. And if you know where Drew Tremel is, please return him to the front desk at your convenience where his party is waiting for him.
Maybe Drew's out because San Diego's out.
Yeah.
You know, ever since they had those stupid guys sing that song against the Phillies, like I really think it's been really unfortunate for them. And it was like the most cringe thing I ever saw. And I've seen a lot of cringe things in my lifetime.
Like today's Sunday morning game.
Yeah, this is not good.
No.
You know, it's a good thing that this is not on like Prime Video because like people would be canceling Prime Video.
You're going Elon Musk Netflix rogue now, are you?
Yeah. It's pretty bad. Anyway, like, follow, and share. Get your comments in if you're watching us. We are live, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Doesn't matter. Share what you like. We'll kick it off with a bit of a surprise on Thursday night. It was I think the Rams were like an 8.5-point favor, but they dropped this in overtime, 26-23 to the Niners. Mac Jones, first round pick Matt Jones, 33 of 49 for 342 and 2 scores. Matt Stafford, 389 and 3 himself. Christian McCaffrey, as he always does, 22 57 on the ground, 8 for 82 through the air with a touchdown reception. Kendrick Bourne, Drew was very happy with me that he could not pick up Kendrick Bourne because the waiver wire had gone by, and he was very upset about that. Kyron Williams scored a lot, also could be the issue with this game with the fumble there near the end zone. Guys, I thought the Niners would finish dead last, so clearly, what the hell do I know? This was a surprise, though. I mean, this is the Rams have now dropped 2 in a row after going 3-0 to start.
Listen, how much does Kyle Shanahan have to love seeing Mac Jones on the quarterback just winning football games, right? I mean, was the Jones and Kendrick Bourne, connection from the New England Patriots a few years ago, right? Jones, now it's resurrected in San Francisco, and it was. I mean, they gave up all that draft capital to get off of Jones and get up to get Trey Lance. Imagine if they had that back, how good they would be. And they were good at that time too. That was just puzzling maneuver for me. And I wonder if Shanahan just kind of looks up to the GM booth and just says, "I kind of told you so," every time Mac Jones plays well, And but he's the most Bama quarterback, so he's going to facilitate the ball to guys who has to get it to. And Kyron Williams, wow, costly mistake there. And then I think McVay. I don't know what he was thinking on that short down, where Williams got stopped. So fumbling the game away, not getting a first down when it was a crucial point to try to win the game. I mean, that's a Kyron Williams nightmare. I mean, he was crying and some of the San Francisco 49ers defense, I guess Williams was chirping and they kind of came at him after the game too. So, it's interesting to see, but the Niners and CMC keep chugging along.
Yeah, bro, you said it. I mean, they were a big spread. I think it was 8. It was started at like 8.5. And, division game, kind of expected a lower scoring game than that. Niners had a lot of guys out. I know that. But it just shows you how good the coaching is. Shanahan's just a really good coach. He calls a good game. He puts guys in position, to get open. And you see what Mac Jones is doing in that kind of offense. So you got a guy like Bourne coming in. 10 receptions. I mean, they have a report like Tony said. So, I mean, yeah. I mean, it was a division game, so kind of expected a closer game than that.
And I think
expected a closer game.
And I think you said a lot of people are out, right? But really, if you actually look at the people who are out, I mean, on the offensive end, especially Pearsall, Juwan Jennings, Brock Purdy.
Yeah.
I like 2 of the receivers. I like Jennings and Pearsall. They're nice guys. Brock Purdy. But they're really not. It's not like losing Jefferson and chasing these guys stuff. So guys can step up. And Mac Jones, like I said already, he's not big of a tick off of Brock Purdy if not they're actually the right fit to go forward.
Yeah, you're right.
So I think that Vegas line is way too adjusted for what it is, what was happening. But the fans the fact that the Rams lost this game outright should be a real eye opener.
Yeah, I mean, for the Rams, they blew 2 games. If the Eagles game and this game, so I mean,
Right.
yeah, they're making mistakes at the end that are really
Well,
costing.
and they got bailed out last week by Tutu, right? A blown coverage. They got blown out. They got bailed out by a blown coverage. It wasn't like they did anything spectacular, you know. So what was it, two Outwell scored what 80 yarder?
Yeah.
So I mean, so like they're really playing with fire on the Rams team. I didn't have a lot of faith in them, and really wasn't anything about the play. But it was like I didn't have faith in Stafford's back.
Well, I expected their defense to be a little bit better. I think their defense hasn't played up to what they really expected there.
Yeah, Jared Verse, I don't know what his sack numbers are. I mean, he's been a phenomenal young player last year. He's got to step up. Their secondary has to step up. I mean, Kendrick Bourne shouldn't be putting up 10 and $142 on you. That's preseason numbers, really. Or garbage time week 18 numbers.
The big thing to me about this is so the Niners are 4-1. They're 3-0 in the division.
Yeah. Yep.
With 2 of those games being road games, right? So again, for people like me who thought, go ahead.
Real quick fantasy implication: Brock Bowers officially out today. Brock Bowers out. Michael Mayer out.
Not surprised to hear that.
They just confirmed that. Yep.
I mean, this is a really good start for San Francisco. A bit better than I thought they were. Again, I thought that the wheels had fallen off.
Couldn't ask for a better start.
No.
CMC looks relatively healthy, and that's the key. Not one rushing touchdown yet, though, which is interesting. But I mean, he's a threat out of the backfield. But that's the same. They don't have one rushing touchdown this year, and we're going into week 5, and it's crazy that they were successful.
Tony, you kind of broached this topic, and I'd like to talk about it here. So they're 4-1. Mac Jones is 3-0. And I was a vocal critic of them giving a lot of money for a long time to Brock Purdy. I thought that it was more the system than the player. I thought the player elsewhere would be rather terrible. And that's, again, it's who can you make work here? And Mac Jones has come in and really produced very well, outproduced Brock Purdy across the board this season. He's not the only loss on the team. So does it validate me, who's wrong all the time and don't care? Does it validate me that deal to that quarterback was a disaster before pen hit paper, and now they're stuck because of it?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know if you could say to Mac Jones, because I don't remember where Mac Jones was in regards to his career and signing and everything like that. Like, it wasn't like they chose Purdy over Mac Jones, that kind of deal. So that success and them landing Mac Jones is kind of separate than Purdy. But no, I was with you when Purdy signing was a little bit too far fetched. I mean, you're investing too much in exactly a system quarterback, then you would think that a guy who's actually being a game changer and causing your team to win. I know you like to compare Jalen Hurts in that kind of same light. But Jalen Hurts is actually won the big game, so it's a little bit more validation for that signing and what he's doing. But the Purdy signing and investing all that money, like I said, I mean, you're getting it's good that you're finally getting something with that Trey Lance trade, because this kind of validates some of that kind of stuff. Like, you're getting some value back by having Mac Jones playing well, and not Purdy. But yeah, it's almost like a lost opportunity of a really strong dynasty for what the 49ers were with this team. Because remember when CMC went there, everybody was like, they're going to be unstoppable. And then a lot of weird things happened. But Mac Jones seems to be able to get things on track. But like I said, Mac Jones isn't the reason why they're winning a ton of games.
No.
He's 3-0. He's just doing the right thing, making the right play. And we talked last week about the quarterback talent and everything like that. You put me and Mac Jones next to each other, I'm probably bigger, and I don't know if I could throw a ball farther than him. Probably not. But, like, it's
in your heyday, Tony. In your heyday.
I didn't have a cannon. I'll admit that. But he just, what I'm saying, like, but he's out there making the right. These guys it's the talent over the cerebral intel that a guy like Mac Jones provides, and Purdy was one of those guys that, Iowa State running, he had a little bit more of the measurables as far as like, the run throw and kind of that kind of stuff. But, and Mac Jones is just used to playing in a winning system in Alabama. But, you don't see Alabama quarterbacks thrive. But what they do is you get them in the right situation and they make things happen. You know,
I don't think this is good news for Purdy. I think Mac Jones is a flat out better quarterback than him. So I mean, it's a good situation to have for the Niners, but I mean, Purdy having a guy, behind him, that I think is just as good, and probably a lot of people agree. I would think, and maybe even in that front office. So, yeah, I think this team should stick with Mac Jones. To be honest with you, I think he looks great. I think he's been playing lights out.
It wasn't so much to me that it's not necessarily a pro Mac Jones thing. It's just that I don't think in this system the actual specific person being quarterback is all that relevant. I think it is the system and then just a genius head coach. Brock Purdy's there at a minimum cap-wise until 2028.
Yeah, I mean, at the time, their hands were tied at the time. I mean,
yeah.
they couldn't. It was just a tough decision they had to make.
The way
you're right, Ant. That's the key right there, because and we'll bring up Dak Prescott because of the contracts that Brian doesn't like with the Brock Purdy contract. It's just it's one of them situations. It's just a bad spot to be in, and that's why you have to kind of invest your money, extremely wisely in every other spot, because you're in a position where you have a guy like Brock Purdy in there as your quarterback, and and Shanahan knew that, he knows that he's not the guy, that's going to move the needle. But what else you do? You have a winning football team, right?
Yeah.
I mean, if they didn't sign Purdy and sign Mac Jones immediately, I mean, listen, San Francisco, from what I hear now, is turning into a pretty big cesspool, but that place would be burning down in that Bay Area with just getting rid of Purdy after he's coming off wins. Plus, he's also not been healthy. So, but you have to try to validate it somehow.
Yeah.
So the way that I see this, right? He's done after 2027, no matter what, right? Because 2028 numbers come in, his cap number over almost doubles. They can save $41 million by just letting him go.
He's going to be way overpaid.
No, but the way
yeah.
I actually have not looked at the terms prior to right now. I actually don't have a problem with this, because really these numbers aren't that high in 25, 27, the cap numbers. And when the cap number becomes high, you have an out clause. You can get out. So I take it back. Contract's fine the way it's structured.
Yeah, I'm sure
he's not going to see any of that money.
I'm sure they were trying to negotiate a deal where he's getting the least.
And that's the funny part about a lot of these NFL contracts. Their union has gotten a little bit better, but like how some of these are structured, then there's they get creative with it.
They know it's going to happen.
Justin Jefferson just bailed out.
They're
Carson
saying the same
Wentz.
thing Brian's saying. 2027, we're not going to need this guy anymore.
But here's the thing, though, right? They're potentially going to be still a good team. What if he brings them to a chip between, not even a chip, gets to a bowl from now in between then? And now you're looking at the same face you were, right?
But here's the thing about that, right? So I made this point more so in hockey than in football, but it also applies in baseball. GMs, the structure of the game it's almost like politics to a degree. I'm not picking a side, I don't really care. But because you're only there for 4 years or 6, whatever your term is, like you can start screwing things up 30 years from now and nobody cares that you're not going to be around. So with a GM, with something like this, either A, your team goes and they win something and then nobody cares about the contract that you signed because you won something, or B, you do something like this, you don't win, you get fired, and it's now somebody else's problem. So in either event, you really don't care. I see this more in hockey where you get these like 7-8 year deals to guys that probably shouldn't get these deals to try to keep cap numbers low. And then if they get fired, well, guess what?
Yeah, it's not my problem.
Can deal with it. So yeah, the way I look at this, I mean, that cap savings is immense. I mean, he's got 2 more years. Then that's the contract. It's remember that Taysom Hill contract that sounded like ridiculous when you first heard about it? It's like $150 million, but it's really not. Like there's just all kinds of
incentive based. It's all incentive based. Yeah.
Incentives that you won't reach.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I mean, I guess you could wish, right?
I gotta go look. I gotta see if I can find the Taysom Hill. I mean, that whole deal was just so stupid. But it was like at face value, it was like, oh, it's like $100 and something million.
So he's back. Well, he's back today. Fantasy guys.
He should play quarterback, really.
Yeah, he should.
I mean, it's how bad can it get, right? Speaking of how bad can it get, the game going on right now, if you don't have to watch it, I would encourage you not to watch it. The Vikings were a 3.5-point favorite. They are currently down a field goal. It's in the early third quarter. Minnesota coming into this game has allowed 18 sacks. That's the most in the NFL. Cleveland is allowing the least amount of total yards per game. However, the Vikings are on the 6th first and goal. So maybe they do something here. Tony, you had some choice thoughts about Carson Wentz before the show started today. He actually just threw a touchdown pass, maybe? Nope, never mind. Where are you on Wentz in this offense?
I mean, Wentz is just a mistake waiting to happen. I mean, that's just basically how he has been his whole career, They said in the beginning of the broadcast today, right, where they likened him. She's like, oh, he's still trying to get used to his receivers. That's why he's holding the ball so long. He's still trying to use the offense. That's why he's holding the ball so long. No, that's been his entire career. Holding the ball too long, making silly mistakes. And I wasn't a huge fan of this offense coming into the year for Minnesota. I mean, I'm a Michigan fan. J.J. McCarthy is going to take time to develop if he's going to be a very true good NFL quarterback. I mean, you have to like Justin Jefferson. I'm not huge on Aaron Jones. Wasn't not huge on Jordan Mason, who scored a touchdown. But that's more opportunity than actual ability, right?
14.
So I mean, there's 90 NFL backs that could have just scored that touchdown. So it's not like there are a lot of things going well with this Minnesota team. But I mean, they get to play against Dylan Gabriel, so that's always sweet, right? So they should pull it out, and they just got to stop. They just got to stop with the mistakes and hope they don't come out at an opportune time to actually cost them the game. Because like you said, Mason already fumbled today. I don't think Wentz threw a turnover yet, but he had some pretty erratic throws already. So none of them have cost him yet. So he's just kind of said it's a mistake that happened, and their defense is good enough that's going to keep them in games. Just get the ball to Justin Jefferson and reminisce with Adam Thielen in that Vikings jersey, and hopefully good things happen for him. But I'm not obviously not a believer in this team against any of the teams in the NFC long term.
Yeah, I mean, and it looks like Wentz has been playing. He's hurt apparently. I guess it's his left shoulder he's playing hurt with right now. So I mean, that could be a concern in the future. I mean, the Vikings should win this game. I mean, I expected them to win this game, especially on the defensive side. You figure you got the stats being thrown out there: Flores versus a rookie quarterback. Ridiculous records. So I mean, I expect the Vikings to win this game and actually finish in cover here. I mean,
I think
fantasy wise, player wise, I mean, Junkins has been really looking good. He looks like a legit running back. So I mean, that's a really good deal the Browns got there.
I mean, listen, this is the thing. So Dylan Gabriel, if Dylan Gabriel is the answer, the question's pretty hilarious. Are we ever going to see Shedeur Sanders? Like, I mean, at what point why do they even pick him? What are we doing?
The answer to this is going to catapult me into a broader topic. So, Ant, why don't you go ahead and
Yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see him eventually. I don't know. We don't know what goes on behind closed doors there. But I think eventually we will see him. They're going to have to put him in. You're right. I can't see a football team being run, an NFL football team being run by Dylan Gabriel. I just can't see it. I'm watching.
Hold on. You mean the all-time leader in NCAA touchdowns, Dylan Gabriel?
I mean, he played for. How many college football teams did this guy play for?
Well, I don't know. I think I was a sophomore in college when he was a freshman. So
yeah.
That was 35 years ago.
He got a full college career. Like
was he Van Wilder?
So yeah, I mean, the Browns
six years in college will do that for you,
Yeah, I mean, the Browns are going to have to put Shedeur in and see what happens. See what they got. I mean, I can't see this team being. They got talent on the team. Wide receiver, I think Judy's a very good wide receiver. Tight end, they hit on this Fannin Jr. guy. He's getting really involved. I mean, they got skilled players. They got a guy. They need a capable arm. That's what they need.
I mean, all right. So is Cleveland just like the island of misfit toys, though? To be honest with you, I mean, let's talk about some things here, right? Okay, so you had Deshaun Watson. Okay, well he asked some girls to jerk him off in the little happy ending.
I don't think that part was a problem. I think it was the other end.
What other end is that?
The other the orifice in the back.
There you go. So you have that, and then you have you got Quashawn Jenkins, who you mentioned, domestic violence accused or survivor, I guess you could say. Isaiah Bond, starting wide receiver day, sexual assault accuser survivor. Deshaun, you got Shador there, who doesn't have any issues with his off the field antics, but you know what? He put a bad light on and Brian, who is the company that Shador Sanders works for? It's not your question. The NFL.
Oh. I'm like,
Cleveland is a franchise.
Yes, I apologize.
Cleveland is a
franchise
of the NFL. Shador Sanders made them bad. So it's almost like the NFL is dictating some of these guys go over to Cleveland and kind of try to resurrect their career. And I know I sent a couple things to you guys earlier, but Kieran Lacy, if as a huge college football fan and somebody who had Kieran Lacy on his fantasy team, the information that came out this week was absolutely just a tragedy. They ruined this young man's life, and then in turn he took his own life. And the tragedy it brought to his family. But then we still turn the TV on, and we're going to see Kareem Hunt later today, and we're not going to see Tyreek Hill. We're not going to see Joe Mixon because they're hurt. But I'm watching,
but we would,
guys. What's that?
But we would.
We would, yeah.
But we would. That's what I'm saying. It's the hypocrisy of the NFL, right? Shador Sanders makes them look a little bit bad because of his rashness, and his dad is kind of telling people, I'm picking where he's going to go, and he kind of got over his skis a little bit and a lot of that kind of stuff. And this is the NFL spanking him, putting him back in his place, okay? As Q Jenkins just has a nice run there.
But to that point, right? I think it's in the same. It's not exactly the same. I'm not making the same. It's in the same vein as these taunting rules, right? Like they don't like personality.
Yeah.
Like they don't like that larger than life. They don't like that WWE-ization of the game, like where you get those personalities. I think you can say what you want to about the NBA. They focus more on the individual than the teams. I think the NFL focuses more on the shield. Nobody's bigger than the game. Like it's the game.
And that's why I said, what franchise do they work for? Because that they want everything on that shield. Justin Tucker is suspended, right?
Yes, he was also just not on the team. But
did anything he do even come close to? I don't know. Speaking of Cleveland Browns, Dante Stallworth. Dante Stallworth had a great career in the NFL.
Yeah, he came back.
Why? Because he paid off the victim's family because they didn't want to they didn't want to press charges because Leonard Little. But Justin Tucker's out for the year because of similar stuff that Watson does, which is kind of like I'm not going to say a victim, but at the same time, like I mean, what the hypocrites that is the shield and what they do behind the shield, it's just not amicable to real life, to be honest. You made the WWF reference, WWE reference. I'm sorry. But it kind of is, though, in a sense where they're orchestrating a lot of the narratives. They're orchestrating like who could play, who's not. Right. Like, okay, Anthony, you just knocked your girlfriend out while she's pregnant and drug her down the stairs, but you got 4.4 speed. And Brian, you asked a homeless man for a gummy, and you're going to be suspended for 4 games. Like, I don't know. When you kind of pull back all the layers, the hypocrisy just kind of seems like like what's worth. So to steal one of your words, Brian. We cheer for laundry a lot of times because that's kind of really what it boils down to.
Well, like I said, I just remember the days growing up when I remember, with Chad and TJ in Cincinnati, and just like guys being like, again,
it was fun.
But that's the thing, right? You can say whatever you want to about the sport, and I said this forever, is we still do watch this game for storylines, right? Like whether it's quarterback versus quarterback or this thing, like yes, like it's not. Yes, wrestling is fake. I'm not gonna sit here and tell you it's a soap opera. I know exactly what it is. I watch it religiously, but you watch it for the story too. Like yes, you're watching for athletic competition, but there's story behind it. Like that's what interests you. Right?
It's all theater.
That's
all
right.
theater.
Life is theater. That's
I
the.
mean, it's the original reality TV. It's the
Correct.
original reality TV,
You know,
and that's
you
that's
go back
what
to
it is.
you go back to the Roman days. That's what it was. It was theater.
Mhm.
Yeah. And that's what it is too. But Brian, what we're talking about here a lot of times is these guys coming in and this kind of story writes themselves, and the NFL does create that narrative. But you're at a place where sometimes you just gotta let the best players play. The NFL for a while was what was the NFL stand for? No fun league, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guys couldn't do anything. Well, now they're allowed to. The entire defense is allowed to run into the end zone and look like a bunch of jackasses, right?
Mm-hmm.
In the 70s, you had the fun bunch. Everybody was allowed to celebrate together in the end zone, and then they ended that. So it seems like it has like peaks and valleys. Like they let it go, and then they smack it down. They let it go, and they smack it down. The taunting rule, like Cooper DeJohn, like okay, first of all, don't compare that step over to what Allen Iverson did to Tom room. But Philly fans get a little over the top. The guy was in front of him. You could see his face. It didn't look like his mouth was moving. He just stepped over him, looked down at him. Okay, keep it on. Let's go. Because these penalties impact the game a little bit too much in certain spots. It just seems like, overcorrection is the word I'm looking for.
Goes into a larger conversation about the rules being wide, so it's open to interpretation. You can drive a truck through them, so you can call them whenever you see fit. Like that's a different conversation we can have.
Meanwhile, you have Q Mitchell out there with his hand on everybody's jersey that he runs on, and he's all pro. You get Jahad Campbell gets burnt, and shout out to anybody who's related to Jahad Campbell. He's a Jersey kid watching the show, but he got burnt against the Bucky Irvin touchdown. He makes a nice play and gets the tip, the ball's tip, and he caught the ball. It was an easy catch to make, but he caught the ball. And now he's defensive player of the week as a rookie, like rookie defensive player of the week. I'm like, hold on, isn't he the guy chasing the guy just got burnt? Like, it's just, I don't know.
In his defense, no linebacker in the league's covering Bucky Irvin right there. On and out and up, there's not many linebackers covering Bucky Irvin.
I mean, you could say that a lot. Like cornerbacks aren't covering receivers one-on-one for most of the time either. Like it's just I get it, but it's just the optics of the situation of you.
I hear you. I hear you. Yeah.
Like, if you want to give him the rookie of the week, let's not pick a rookie of the week where he's seen chasing for a 70-yard touchdown run or catch, but it's just. And then how about
get better, Bucky? I need Bucky back.
Yeah, he's not going to play next week either. I don't think.
He's not playing, and it seems the news out about a shoulder injury is now the more damning part of the injury spectrum that they're saying. So I have Bucky Irving in a couple leagues, which I think Brian, I'm in 2 of them with you, right? I kept him in both leagues.
I got him in 2.
That was 2
leagues.
What's that?
That was the funny part. I asked you which league you keep Bucky, and you're like Bucky. I'm like, and what about the other one? Bucky. All right, done. Thank you.
Well, I was Bucky over Brian Thomas Jr. I mean, that was the right call, 100%.
That was the right call, and that was I questioned it at the moment too.
I got them both.
So. I didn't want nothing to do with anybody in the Jacksonville Jaguars passing offense. Why? Because it was only productive. Mac Jones was there. So
and now he's in San Francisco. Lamar Jackson is not playing today. He apparently could be out 2 to 3 weeks with a hamstring injury. The Ravens come in today at 1-3. And you want to critique Lamar Jackson. I do it all the time, but he is a very important player on that team. And if he's not going to play 2 to 3 weeks, I don't know that that's going to result in too many wins.
That record is not inductive to Lamar Jackson, though. I mean, that's Derrick Henry.
No, it is not.
Derrick Henry literally fumbled 2 games away, and that's insane. I mean, that's
But now, so the Ravens have 3 home games here. They got Houston today, they got the Rams next week, and they got the Bears the week after that, after a bye. So, like, are they at risk of falling apart here? Like, is the season going to end, like, in the next 2 weeks if they go to 1-5, in theory?
Cooper Rush steps in, and unfortunately, we've had to watch way too much Cooper Rush last year.
I agree.
It depends on the coaching, to be honest with you. They could go out there and beat Houston. Isaiah Likely's back. Mark Andrews, 2 tight end sets. You pound the ball with Derrick Henry, and then you see what it gets, and you play defense, and that's kind of going to be the recipe. Now, if they go out there and they get cute and stuff like that with Cooper Rush, it's going to backfire on them. That schedule isn't something that the Ravens are fearful of, but I could see them winning every single game, and I could see them losing every single game if they have to get into a passing game. They just have to commit to the run, commit to the run, commit to the run, commit to the run. And it hasn't, and that hasn't been a winning formula for them. Derrick Henry, after I think week 1, I think he had a pretty decent game, and then he fumbled away a couple balls, and man, it was Dylan Gabriel wide open. Oh, actually, a decent throw to Njoku. Oh, and there you go. Njoku finally fucking does something at that cutoff.
That was a pretty big drive there.
Actually, well, I mean, he threw to triple coverage.
Hey, like Baker Mayfield did last week with Emeka Duke,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
I mean, that was an awful. I don't know how that ball got in there. Both Eagles defenders just missed it. And yeah, I mean, it's a result based. No, that's the right window to make it. That's the throw to make.
I'm questioning the Ravens' choice of backup quarterback here. I mean, Cooper Rush. I mean, they couldn't find anybody similar to Lamar. I guess not.
Well, they had Snoop Huntley for a long time.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, this is bad. I guess we got to look within their division. I mean, they need Pittsburgh to lose.
Well, that's the thing.
Yeah,
that's the thing. The division's not good.
That's the only hope we talked about. Yeah, that's the only we talked about it last week. I think you got to hope maybe Pittsburgh falters. Cleveland maybe loses this game. Cincinnati, we all know they're in dumps. So I mean, they have a shot. I mean, they got to maybe win one of these games, 2 of these games, if they could today.
I mean, is this? Are we now looking at Pittsburgh's division to lose? Like, I mean, this is crazy.
How crazy is that?
Yeah.
Actually, Tony, I thought of you this morning when I was getting my stuff together for the show. We talked about how the Steelers last year, I think, were outscored, but they had a winning record, right? Mm-hmm. The Steelers currently have a -2 point differential. That is the worst of any division leader.
Checks out for what's going on in the division, and I actually, it's just for football fans itself. I'm not talking about Cincinnati fans or Ravens fans. Just the fact that Burrow and Lamar Jackson is out is bad for the game.
It sucks.
I mean, I mean, we're watching the game now with Dylan Gabriel and Carson Wentz. I mean, I don't need this. It's just
think all the players it kills around them. All those really good players it kills around them. I mean, you get no Chase, no Brown, no Higgins, no Likely, none of these. You get nothing. You get nothing. No production.
And no Malik Nabers. Talking about killers, the turf at MetLife has taken out another. Is there any rational reason that the NFLPA would not make a stink out of this and tell the NFL they got to put grass there? Like again, like one's an accident, two's a trend. Like this is like every year a major player goes down in that stadium. Like it's not a coincidence, right?
Who was last year?
Hold on.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of looked like a freak injury. He was like in middle. He was jumping, and I guess I don't know.
Well, I mean, how different is that turf? And
from anywhere else?
I've been on that field. I mean, it's amazing field. It feels like anyway, but it's not like we're talking about the vet here. I mean, in
2023, Aaron Rodgers tore his Achilles. 22, Sterling Shepard, Wendell Robinson, Kyle Fuller. 2020, Nick Bosa, Solomon Thomas. It seems like every year, but maybe some have 2 in the same year. The point is, it's not an act. This continues to happen, I guess is my point.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that Rodgers injury is not blaming on the turf at all. That's just something happens. I know all too well on that one. It's in today's day and age with all the technology that is invested in growing grass as well, and I actually had the privilege of being a part of a discussion of a plan of some phenomenal agricultural growth that's just going to blow people's minds. But like the grass, if they want to put it there, they can. I mean, but if you look at what they're playing right now out in London, I mean, you're not telling me that London turf or whatever it is out there is better than anything that the Giants have. I mean, you have to the days of people being cheap and stuff like that on their turf, like I just mentioned the vet, that's over. I mean, this stuff has to be, premier, and I just think it's just a bad luck. I mean, maybe they're tripping over Jimmy Hoffa. I don't know.
Wentz just got sacked pretty badly.
Yeah, you're a good bit ahead of me, bro.
Oh yeah. Well, don't know why. Anthony, thoughts?
Yeah, it's just unfortunate for the Giants, man. I think him and Dart, we're gonna have a good rapport. It looks, I think they really like each other. Seems like they have a good relationship. It's a shame for the Giants. And screw the Giants. They knocked me out of the pool last week. Unbelievable. Unreal. Couldn't even get
anger.
past week 4. Couldn't even pass week 4.
I had New England.
Yeah.
So that worked out well. I forget what I had this week.
Before we get to the games, the rest of the games today, we're 4 weeks in. Who stands out to you as your biggest surprises in the league? Who stands out to you as your biggest disappointments in the league?
Oh, jeez.
This biggest surprises, because that's a tough one.
To me, it's San Francisco, just because, again, I thought they would be terrible. And not terrible, but just enough that they would probably finish last in that division, the bottom half of that division. That does not appear to be in the cards right now. I mean, you can say the Chiefs, but they've kind of righted that ship a little bit. People very high on Denver. Denver 2-2, I think, is probably not where people thought they would be. Baltimore is Baltimore. Bengals just unlucky.
I think that's the one there. I think Baltimore at 1-3. No one saw that coming. No matter if they, against the Kansas City game and that kind of stuff. The way they lost the game, I think you'd have to say that's the biggest surprise is them sitting at 1-3. And obviously you could say, okay, well, Lamar Jackson got hurt, but that's not the reason why they lost. I think that's kind of the biggest surprise. Another surprise, I think, Seattle. I think Seattle is giving a little bit more than people expected. I just, some of the games of with Darnold just kind of keeps there and kind of keeps doing it. I don't think I thought they had a potential to kind of fall to the earth, and they're out there playing with some fight, kind of like that one. And Houston not able to get it together. I think that's it. Well, you know what? Houston not able to get together. Same division. Indianapolis, the Colts.
Daniel Jones.
The Colts and the revelation of Daniel Jones. That's probably some old book somewhere, it sounds like. But I think the Colts are another good one. They're healthy. They're playing with defense. They're running the ball, and Daniel Jones is looking like a solid NFL quarterback. So I think that they have to be in that consideration.
I mean, again, 4 weeks in, so there's going to be a ways to go. We'll see where things end up. Again, I think if Baltimore loses today, it's not going to be good. We'll start today in Indianapolis. The 1-3 Las Vegas Raiders without Brock Bowers visit the 3-1 Colts. Break up the Colts' biggest surprise, right? Colts laying a touchdown and a hook. 47.5 is the number. Genty has 26 missed tackles on runs. Is good for second in the NFL behind Jonathan Taylor on the other side of the field, who leads the NFL. 414 rushing yards, 103.5 per game, who in a redraft of your fantasy league goes a lot higher than he did before. I mean, without Bowers, I don't know what that offense even looks like. He's so important to what they do. This was probably an easier game. This was probably a Colts win regardless. I think that we're pretty solidified at this point. The Colts should get a win here today, despite the line indicates that as well.
Yeah, I don't know where the Raiders offense is going to come from. Indianapolis run defense is pretty solid. Geno Smith has been bad. I mean, he had a little resurrection in Seattle and everything like that, but with the Raiders, he just really has been making some mistakes. I do think guys like Trey Tucker and Jacoby Myers, they'll be productive fantasy aspects, but that could be more situational than anything else. Johnny Taylor's going to have a huge day. I think that's just a given. And I think Warren, this would have been a premier tight end matchup, right, with Brock Bowers versus Ty Warren about rookie. And I think Warren's on the heels of some of Bowers' records from last year, so that would have been an interesting matchup to see, as we talked about NFL creating narratives. But it's just not going to happen. Hopefully, some fantasy fun in this one, but I'll take Indianapolis. I think the Indianapolis Colts were my survivor pick this week, but I'm trying to check that out because I made it like on Tuesday.
Yeah, if anything, I'm just playing the Colts on the money line. I'm not going to mess with it. I kind of think I kind of like lean actually the Raiders plus 7.5 here. I think they play a little better than last week. I mean, I watched that game last week. Obviously, the Bears played the Raiders, and Geno Smith was god awful. So I actually expect him to actually just play a little bit better this week. But yeah, fantasy wise here, yeah, I love Jonathan Taylor. I mean, even pick him up over 100 yards this week, or a touchdown. I mean, I think they ride him today, and Colts get it on the money line.
I think his number's like 120 or something like that combined.
Yeah, I mean, I like that. I mean, I can't see the Raiders really stopping them. Raiders offensive line, defensive line, not very good. Bottom of the league.
Speaking of the bottom of the league, I don't know how many people are going to watch this game willingly unless you want to see what Jackson Dart does. This game might send offense back in years. The Saints are favored in the game at home at 0-4. 1.5, 42.5 is the number. Jackson Dart, the first quarterback since 1950 with a passing touchdown, a rushing touchdown, no picks, and a 50-yard in rushing in his first career start. Rattler is the first quarterback who is winless in his first 10 starts with a team since Jared Goff in Detroit, who went 0-9-1.
In Jared Goff in LA?
In the LA.
No, I think it was. I thought it was Detroit. Maybe it was LA. I don't know.
Were they? Oh, he jumped in. He jumped in that bad Detroit team and turned around. Let's give Jared Goff some credit for turning around that team, huh?
True. Yeah.
Well, in any event, this game's going to suck. Any thoughts?
Yeah. I mean, I think the less Spencer Rattler can do to touch the ball, the better. I mean,
So
Jason
in
Miller
Detroit,
is back.
hold on. No, it is Detroit. So they went 3-10-1 his first season there.
Right. And
So
then
he was
got
0-9-1 his first 10 starts.
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I obviously none of that's attributed to him, though.
No, but just saying,
but,
just
yeah.
generally.
No, that's it. It's a little bit more surprising when you're number one overall draft pick. You expect to go to a bad team, which he was in LA. So it's you just kind of expect those performances from there. But no, but the difference is Jared Goff had the makings of what an NFL quarterback looked like. Spencer Rattler does. Kamara, Kendra Miller, Taysom Hill, everybody else touched the ball besides Spencer Rattler because the Giants defensive line is pretty solid. I mean, you look at they have talent across the board. The kid from Penn State, I wanted to bring him up today. The kid, then you got kid Von Thibodeau, the two big defense tackles. I mean, that's a talented defensive line that's going to make it tough for Spencer Rattler. But you got to get these short little passes and get Rashid Shaheed a touchdown here or something like that. Chris Olave's going to get a lot of tires. Where's the offense going to come from New York though? Dart's going to have to, a lot of Slayton, Theo Johnson, that kind of stuff. It's just going to be an ugly, mucked up game. I guess I'll take New Orleans to win. I don't love it, but I think that they just do a little bit more. They have the more continuity right now. So we'll see with that. Give me a Taysom Hill anytime touchdown today to kind of start it off.
Plus 240.
There you go.
I'm gonna take the road team here. I'm gonna take the rookie road team. I'm gonna take the Giants plus 108 here on the money line. And Tony talked about it. I think it's their defense. I think their defense is really gonna give the Saints and Rattler problems. I'm curious to see what they do with Taysom Hill. We talked about it. Maybe are they going to play him more quarterback, tight end? See what he comes back and does. But I think this Giants
Isn't he such an interesting player? Right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm curious to see.
He'll run.
He's a good player. He's a very good player. I mean, it's we'll see.
But his usage and stuff like that over the last couple of years is just giving head stretching. Like he'll have a game where he'll have 10 carries, $142 and 3 catches, and throw a touchdown. And then he'll have the next game he'll have 1 carry, and you're like, hold on, what happened to this guy that was like a stud tight end a couple last week, and now he doesn't even touch the ball. It's weird how he's been used through his career.
Yeah, I agree.
When he's used, it's fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, if I'm him, I'm trying to find my way to Denver, Sean Payton. Yeah, I'm going to take the Giants here, and I'm looking here. I mean, the Giants' number 1 wide receiver today, according to this, is Wan'Dale Robinson. So give me Wan'Dale Robinson plus 260 on a touchdown. Maybe Dart finds them in the red zone or even on a big play because they're throwing the ball down the field.
And Wandale Robinson's a kid who he's electric when he has the ball in his hands. He just has to get the ball in his hands in space a lot, and that's he's not that traditional wide receiver, but when he gets the ball, he makes things happen.
Nabers. I think him and Nabers. I mean, not a bad. He's not a bad number 2.
Speaking of the turf in MetLife, the Dallas Cowboys 1-2-1. Break up the Cowboys. Visit the 0-4 Jets, laying 1.5 on the road. 4.5 is the number. Dak Prescott, the only quarterback with 300+ passing yards and 2+ passing touchdowns in multiple games this season. The Jets lead the league. Third in the league on the ground. 578 rushing yards. The Cowboys with a tie last week. Don McNabb was unsure how ties work. Questions about that. Tony, your thoughts on that game before we go into this one?
The Cowboys game? I thought the home time clock keeper should be shot and put out of misery. There's no way that a second should be left on the clock there. Absolutely none. He stopped the clock before when the ball hit the player, not when the ball hit the ground. So he should have been shot on the spot there. Once again, I mean, the Dallas defense is looking lost out there. I mean, Malik Hooker is out today, so I mean, somebody else will be lost out there. I guess it's Marquise Bell. But that, listen, I mean, George Pickens is phenomenal. It's good to see him get an opportunity to do some of the George Pickens things he does. I mean, he just catches the ball no matter where it's thrown. I mean, there's always a shot for that, and he gets pass interference pretty much every time the ball's in his area. So that's good. I think this game is going to be scary because Justin Fields is going to run everywhere, and the Dallas defense, the miscommunication with the running quarterback, as you saw against Hurts, because Hurts kind of gassed the Cowboys for a couple touchdowns, and it was just all of a miscommunication. And I think that's going to keep this game pretty close. And Brian, I believe the last time the Cowboys played in the Meadowlands against the Jets, man, you were there. Watch the debacle that game was. It was a very similar situation.
What is this like? And we said it on the way there, like, watch, you're going to lose this game.
Yeah, a bad Jets team beat a decent Cowboys team, and you just kind of left it. But it was I kind of predict the same. I do think the difference is going to be, as it always is in most Cowboys games, Brandon Aubrey just being the best player in the NFL again, and like the Meadowlands field goal record today, whichever that is. I'm probably pretty sure it's not that long, but it's not an easy place to kick. But so I think Cowboys win a close one, and that's why it's only a -1.5 point spread.
Yeah.
Wow. That's depressing, honestly.
Jaden Blue makes his debut today. Speedster from Texas.
I mean, Dak is playing great. If they had any type of defense, I mean, they'd be I would talk about them being in the playoffs because Dak's playing that well. Javonte Williams, I mean, he's playing well.
Yeah.
The only thing, like Tony talked about, concerns me today is the running game. I feel Breece Hall could have a big day. Justin Fields is going to have a big day. I like both of them, either or, to score a touchdown. This is a tough one. Yeah. I'm going to go with the Cowboys today. Give me the Cowboys, and I actually think there'll be some points scored, so I'll take the over here, 47.5.
Yeah, I mean, you can't ever say that there won't be points scored in a Cowboys game. Azubuike, though, for the Cowboys showed that engine that he could off the edge, and he kind of made a problem for Jordan Love last week. So we'll see. How it happens. Garrett Wilson, anytime touchdown today. Yeah, you have to kind of like those numbers with him. Cowboys got tons of injuries, though. I mean, just three offensive linemen,
all over.
Three offensive linemen, defensive. I mean, all starters everywhere. Yeah. So
I mean, I like a flyer today. Anytime, maybe for the Cowboys, I like Jalen Tolbert plus 240.
Yeah, he's going to definitely have opportunities. I mean, he worked a lot with Dak last year, so he's going to get the opportunities with Pickens.
He's their number 2, correct? He would be their number 2 today. Pickens, then him.
Yep.
Yeah, I mean, in the offense in general, though, you're talking Ferguson is number 2 there, but
he's having a great year. For fantasy, for me, he's having a great
year.
Except
last week when he didn't hit 50 yards when I needed him to close out a $600 parlay. But
Tough one.
Yep.
The Denver Broncos at 2-2 visit the 4-0 Philadelphia Eagles, who quarterback's kind of questionable. 4.5 is the number here. 43.5 is the over-under. Denver leads the league with 15 sacks, which will put that Eagles offensive line, which is playing a little bit below what we expect them to so far this season, on notice. Hurts has the longest streak in the league without an interception, 241 attempts, mostly because his average depth of target is about from me to my window. That's probably how he avoids those interceptions.
Tell you boys long too.
Yeah. Look, the Eagles are 4-0. I get it. It's not the quarterback. The receivers apparently are unhappy with their roles in the offense, so you can probably assume they'll overcorrect and throw each one of them a touchdown today just to keep them happy.
I mean, that's not easy against Surtain in the defense. I mean, that if the Eagles are okay, so let me ask you: the Eagles can't really run the ball this year, and they can't really throw the ball this year, but they're 4-0. Very, very, very odd situation. And if they do try to overcorrect against this Denver team, which is only good against the pass, I mean, 15 sacks. Eagles shouldn't worry about a team that's leading the league in sacks. They're not going to be passing the ball. They should be running the ball down their throat. The Eagles just need to stay committed to the run. They need to keep doing what they're doing to figure out winning football games. They just have to commit to it and show the run. And don't overcorrect. If you start forcing balls to AJ Brown and forcing these deep passes to Devontae Smith, this Denver team is going to either hit you with a sack and create a turnover, or Surtain is going to go out there and pick it off. I mean, it's a recipe for disaster for the Eagles if they try to change their game. What they do is ugly, but it works and it wins. So, I think they have to continue doing what they're doing and let Bo Nix be the guy who's making the mistakes, taking them deep shots, and let Q Mitchell and Dijon and these guys, play outstanding ball in the secondary and kind of break something up off of like a Sutton or whatnot. The Denver, they need to start getting Evan Ingram involved. He went in there. I thought he would be a big part of that offense, and he's been kind of a ghost in that offense. So they need to kind of change things up. I mean, their running game has been okay, not electric, but I think Bo Nix is coming to earth or regression is key here. I think Eagles, I don't like giving 4.5 at all. But
I think that's a Broncos line, I think.
Yeah,
I don't know, Brian. I don't know. I mean, this line was -3.5. I thought it was low at -3.5. I think an Eagles line is like would have opened at this and 5.5 at home.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing why I think it went up. Man. Broncos played last week. They play this week. They have to travel to Philly. Then they go back home for 3 games. I think the Broncos' mentality is just to try to get back home. I don't know how committed they are to kind of having put out a good effort.
No, I feel you. I just think it opened low. I think 3.5 was opening low for this game. I thought the Eagles at home would be at least 4.5, 5.5 to start.
Yeah. I would say
that's why I'm leaning Eagles big today. I think the Eagles are going to cover this now because I just think I think they're going to stick to Saquon, get that running game going, and they find ways to win. I mean, you talk about Hurts not throwing interceptions. I mean, it may sound funny, but that's how you win football games. You don't turn the ball over, and you turn other teams over. That's how they're winning football games, and they're making teams on special teams. So yeah. So I mean, that's how they're winning these games. They're not turning the ball over. So.
I don't think it'll surprise anybody if Eagles win by 7 or 10 points today.
And they almost draw a comparison to what the Chiefs were last year, right? Their offense was horrible. They were playing good defense, good special teams, and the Chiefs were just getting by on these games last year. Very similar to what's going on. Their roster's too good. You talk about it all the time. There's always guys making plays. So they're finding ways to win. You just don't give the other team the ball.
Well, the funny thing is, Denver's great pass defense might not really matter in this game because the Eagles don't pass the ball.
No, you're right. But I mean, they have to get Saquon going, and it's because of their offensive line. They're banged up. Lane Johnson hasn't played. Dickerson's playing with an injury. They're moving guys around. So
Is Lane Johnson out
all
today?
these problems, and they're 4-0. So
Was Lane Johnson out today?
today he's playing.
I don't think so.
Today I believe he's playing
Because he sat on the sidelines like most of the game last week. So it's like,
yeah.
I mean, when he doesn't play, the Eagles fall off the planet for
Yeah.
you know, which makes sense. But yeah. Well, so if he's playing, should be par for the course.
And you're right, Brian. AJ Brown's going to score today, plus 200.
They're going to force it. They're going to force it. They're
All
going to get. They're going to get within. They're going to get within the 5. They're going to get in push formation and throw it to him.
Well, if they do that, if they force it to AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts might throw 2 touchdowns. One to AJ Brown, one to Patrick Surtain.
One to Denver. Yeah.
Right.
A flyer for Denver. A flyer for Denver today. I like Troy Franklin plus 280. He's the number 2 wide receiver. Mitchell's going to be on Sutton. They're going to have to looking for somebody. Troy Franklin.
Here's a question for you.
Penn State guy.
Who would you start at quarterback in fantasy? Bo Nix or Drake May?
Drake May.
I'm starting Drake May today. Yeah. Just because again, the Eagles' pass defense is pretty good, obviously. So I think that they might rely more on Dobbins today, and they really need to get Harvey more involved. They did last week, but I think they need to see a little more of that.
I misquoted. Troy Franklin's an Oregon guy, not a Penn State guy.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say that. But yeah, he played with Bo Nix, right?
Yeah.
Well, I think Marvin Mims kind of stepped up last week too. So I mean, that's why it kind of all over the place.
Yeah, either of those guys. He's plus 430. Sprinkle.
This is going to be ugly. The 1-3 Miami Dolphins at the 1-3 Panthers. Miami laying a 1.5 on the road. 45.5 the number. Devon Achane has 246 yards, 143 receiving yards. One of 4 players in the league this year to have 200 plus rushing, 140 through the air. Carolina, the only team without multiple 100 plus yard receivers because they got one in Ted McMillan, but they ain't got nobody else. Tyreek Hill will be out for the rest of the season with an gruesome injury that he suffered last week, and he was laughing about it. Most people think his time Miami is over. His time in the NFL might be over, depending on his ability to recover from that extremely gruesome knee injury suffered last week that he was laughing about. Both of these teams are in the pit of despair, but you got to read on this game because I don't care who wins this game. In fact, I'll tell you what, in this game, winning is losing.
You're right. You're right about that.
Tag, baby, tag.
I lean the Dolphins here. I mean, I think they got a little momentum. They're coming off a win. They probably feel good about themselves last week, coming off a win. I'll take them here in this situation. I think everyone ran to their waiver wire to get Darren Waller. I think you'll see him today. He's going to have to. I mean, you got Waddle, Malik Washington also, a guy for fantasy. I'll take the Dolphins today on the money line. This Panthers team is not good.
No Chuba. You got Rico Dowdell, who we watched play way too much last year. The only thing I like in this game is Ted McMillan. I think Ted McMillan has a big day. So against that Dolphins secondary, it's awful. And you got to stick with David Achane as well. Although Ollie Gordon's been eating into that. I just shipped Devin Achane off in a dynasty league. I just shipped him out, but I did get John Taylor in return, so I can't hate on that. But I think those are 2 guys that are going to move the needle. Everything else in this game is just garbage.
So, of the following 4 people, who's back next year? Bryce Young, Tua Tagovailoa, Mike McDaniel, and I forget who's coaching the Panthers now because they change coaches every other year. So whoever the Panthers head coach is. Of those 4
Bryce Young will be back.
Okay. You think one of the 4?
I think I just hit my bet off of Justin Jefferson with that catch. So that is a nice one. I think McDaniel's gone. I think here's the thing though. It's how far are the Dolphins going to be in? I think Tua will be back in some sense, but I think Daniel's gone, I think they move off of Tua and bring somebody else in if they get a decent first round pick, which there isn't really a quarterback out there that should be a high first round pick at this point. So I think he'll be back. I think Tua will be back. Carolina coach is how are we all blanking on a coach name?
I gotta Google it now.
His last name begins with a C. I think he's like
Dave Canales? Is it Dave Canales? I didn't even
Canales.
Google it. There you go. As soon as you said it, it hit me. All right.
Canales will be back, and I think Miami's coach McDaniel and Tua, he's the one that's gone.
So you think it's clean house in Miami and Carolina? It's more of the same.
It's more the same in Carolina, absolutely. I don't think that they really had too many expectations.
If they change the coach in Miami, they got to change the quarterback. It's just they have to.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're going to, but Tua will still be there.
Yeah.
Tua will still be there, though. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, because where's he going to go? But
right,
I just what kind of coaches don't want to take that on? That's why I don't think McDaniels is going anywhere. I believe they gave him an extension before the year started. I know that doesn't mean anything.
Listen, the best thing to do with bad decisions is double down on them. That's the best thing to do, obviously.
Not like chasing good money with bad.
That's what it is.
Bad with good money, right?
Again, this is going to be an ugly game. Watch something else. Go outside and touch grass.
Yes.
The Ravens are facing. I don't look. Is it a must win? It's kind of a must win for both teams. If you ask me, I think 1-4. It's very hard to come back from. I mean, maybe you can say it's easier for the Ravens. Actually, okay, you can make the case it's easier for the Ravens because of their division, because nobody's any good. You can also make the case for the Texans that it might be their division because nobody's any good. So, welcome to professional football in 2025. The Vikings just missed a 51-yard field goal.
Oy.
So we talked about this last week. The Houston offense has really just fallen apart, right? Is that Stroud? Is it surrounding cast? I don't really know. Is Nico Collins a legit alpha receiver? Maybe, maybe not. But it's one of those games where, again, like you have to, Houston is now, well, again, quarterback, right? Lamar makes all the difference. The Houston is 29th in scoring offense. Like, that's probably not a scenario that you thought of coming into the season because you thought Stroud would be fine. And you thought they would air it out a little like they did a year ago. Baltimore's defense has been known forever as this, rough, just in your face, punch me in the mouth defense. They're allowing the most points in the league. So what gives here? Both of these units are extremely underperforming.
Yeah, this is a tough game to call. I mean, like I talked about earlier, I don't know what to expect from Cooper Rush, what kind of offense they're going to run that's tailored to Cooper Rush. I expect just a heavy dose of Derrick Henry, like Tony talked about earlier, get into that two tight end set, run, get Likely and Andrews involved and try to win that way. But, you're going against a good Houston defense. Right now that's pretty much their strength. They have a lot of talent on that side of the ball. It's going to be a tough one. And you can see here with the over-under, 40.5. They're not expecting much today. So a heavy dose of Henry and a heavy dose of Marks coming in from Texas.
Woody Marks.
He gave him a little spark last week. So I expect that from both teams, just a lot of running football.
Yeah, I think that would be the key to the Ravens winning, especially. I don't know if Texans running the ball could sustain against the Ravens long term. I think the Ravens have a lot more offensive weapons, even with Cooper Rush on there. Zay Flowers, Bateman out there, they could get it done out wide, and you said the two tight ends, and then you have Derrick Henry. I think Derrick Henry's will be X factor. I think Derrick Henry is he's one of my favorite running backs. Just for he's very prideful, in what goes on. And I think what's happening here with the fumbling, I think he's going to take a lot of that on his shoulders and just want the ball. Justice Hill, though, is a nice little X factor too, which I think that might be the detriment to what's going on with Henry, because you need to you need to have faith in the guy who got you there, right? And there's no Lamar, so you should just look at Henry and just say, big fella, it's on your shoulders. Them big ass shoulders, carry us and live or die. Like they're trying to be too cute on offense way too many times. And I think with Cooper Rush, what you'll see is, I think you have to kind of like it to those quarterbacks that run an RPO but never really run. I think Nick Foles, Nick Foles used to run the RPO all the time, that kind of stuff. And I think they could put that into, that, and then mix in play action to your tight ends. And I think that's just play within yourself, and no turnovers. I think I like the Ravens getting 2.5 at home. That's insane.
Yeah, it looks insane.
But is it insane?
Yes, it is. Because CJ Stroud sucks. He's bad.
And listen, the Ravens, again, it seems like they get just stricken with injuries every year. Like
they do. You're right.
A dozen guys, and they all start. Like, they're just riddled with injuries constantly. It's just this is going to be I believe, a low scoring game. Give me the running backs today, and see what happens.
We will move to the 4:00 games and a matchup of two quarterbacks who were taken number 1 overall in their respective drafts. 0-4 Tennessee, 2-2 Arizona. Arizona's laying a touchdown and a hook today. 41.5 is the number. Cam Ward, the second rookie quarterback to average less than 6 yards per attempt in his first 4 starts. That's not good. Kyler Murray has not thrown for 250 or more yards in a game since week 17 of last year. That's not good. Tony, are you still on the wagon to find a new place of employment for Marvin Harrison Jr.?
I mean, yeah, it's not an extreme realistic ask, but I mean, it just needs, it has to be, really. I mean, it's just not a good fit with Kyler Murray, and you're not getting rid of Kyler Murray. I mean, if you could get rid of Kyler Murray and bring in, a stud quarterback, then obviously that would probably be their first inclination, but that's not going to happen. That contract and everything like that, no one's really touching them. But I mean, they have to do something, right? Trey Benson's out. He had an opportunity and it probably gets hurt with James Conner out, and now you're kind of going by running back by committee with Carter and DeMarco, or what was the guy's name? His name, it's not DeMarco, right?
DeMarcado.
DeMarcado. Yeah. So I mean, you're looking at things where you're like, what's the solution here, right? And I think the only solution on that offense is to try to win it with defense. And Titans are going to turn the ball over a couple times. Cardinals run the ball, find a way to win. 7.5 is a dirty number. I do like the over in this game because I don't see Cardinals being held with under 28 points. So if Titans can get any kind of offense, that would be something good. And then Trey McBride should have a big day today.
Listen, this has 24-17 cards written all over it. It misses both the card number and the over/under.
Yeah, of course it does.
It's like glaring at me.
To be honest, that's where I was leaning. I was leaning the under. I was leaning the under in this game. I don't see the Titans really producing much. I mean, the Cardinals defense has been playing really well, and I'm not really sold on the Cardinals offense. Like, nothing really jumps out to me to them. Like Brian said, I mean, I could see like the Cardinals covering, but maybe 21-10, 24-10. So I roll with the under here. Tony's boy plus 150 for anytime touchdown. I mean, I'll take it.
The over will hit if Cam Ward throws a pick six. Defensive scoring actually might be the concern here for if you're.
I'm pretty sure there's some high metrics for the overs hitting with that,
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah. 100%.
On that note, Arizona defense plus 650, which is a pretty low number for defense.
Yeah. I mean, Buda Baker and them guys, they fly around out there. So I mean, it's going to be a tough one for Cam Ward.
The Cards need to win to hang around this division. I think, Tony, you and I are both in the same wavelength that we thought they could be like a borderline, like 7 seed type playoff team. The way the Niners are playing, the Rams have fallen off a bit, but they're still 3-2. Seattle's playing well. So all of a sudden, like, that becomes a much murkier road if you think Arizona can get in. I mean, they need to start peeling off wins. I don't necessarily know that you can say, oh, well, the Cardinals lost a game that they should have won. I mean, again, their losses have both been in the division, the last two, the 49ers and the Seahawks. Unfortunately, their wins are over New Orleans and Carolina. So what exactly do we have here? Because you're winning against garbage and losing in your division. So by that term, yeah, they should win today. Their schedule gets progressively more difficult after today. So that's why they really need to win today. They go
Brian, I'm sorry. What did you have the Cowboys line at?
I saw it at 1.5.
Yeah, it
They're
was 1.5.
giving 1.5 or getting 1.5?
They're getting 1.5.
Now that line just swung to now they're getting 1.5.
Oh God. That wasn't that way yesterday.
I know. That's why I'm putting some bets in right now as we speak, and I just noticed that. So.
Although it looks like it's minus 120 at plus 1.5, so maybe it's more like, they might just be a pick 'em. I mean, the Jets are minus 115, the Cowboys are minus 105. So I mean,
Yeah.
So I got it. I'm on FanDuel. I got the Cowboys. Yeah, they're plus 1.5 at 115.
That's DraftKings. I have it up here.
And plus 102 on the money line. Pretty much even money.
Amazing.
Jets are minus 120.
That's embarrassing. I'm sorry. It just is. It's
Yes,
embarrassing. It is embarrassing.
I don't know how the Cardinals survive without a running game. And then you're going to have to put it all on Kyle Murray, and I have no faith in that. So, I mean, I can see the Cardinals after this game, like you said, falling apart unless their defense keeps them in it.
Yeah. Cardinals should win this game. I can't imagine they don't. The 3-1 Buccaneers, coming off their first loss of the year a week ago, visit the Seahawks, who are also 3-1. 3.5 is the spread here for Seattle. 44.5 is the number. Tampa Bay has scored 20+ points in 19 consecutive. Seattle has a plus 44 differential in points. That's the second best in the NFL. This is going to be a really good game, in my opinion. Again, there are some injuries for Tampa that we know. Again, we'll see what Ibuka does. Again, they do have Chris Godwin back. This would be a heavy dose of Rashad White if you're looking for a fantasy, Hail Mary if you have him on your bench. I think this might be a pretty good game, though. That's my read on it. Like this is not going to be a game that anybody runs away with. They're two of the better teams in the NFC.
Yeah, I mean it's a shame. It's a shame that the Bucs are banged up. I think Seattle kind of actually pulls this off. Long flight out there. Baker's arm isn't healthy. It's just not. Even though he made some throws. I mean, we talked about that Mbuke catch. That had eyes. He underthrew that ball by 10, 15 yards. Mbuke was wide open, and he underthrew it back. So and he didn't run against Philly either. He barely scrambled. That was been, in their 3 wins, he actually, I think he averaged about 25, 30 yards rushing. Maybe he knew I bet on his rushing over this week against Philly, or last week against Philly, and that's why he didn't run. But I think it's more of a thing that he's banged up. So I would keep eyes on that. I like Godwin underneath, and I like JSN to take advantage of the Buccaneers secondary too. He's been explosive, and Darnold's been finding him. So I'll take Seattle. I'll buy the hook and give me JSN yards and anytime touch.
Yeah, I'm right on board with you, Tone. I love Seattle today. I like the over here at 44.5 also. JSN's been on a roll. Yeah, I like JSN today, his yards. I like touchdown. And yeah, give me Seattle today in the over.
Doesn't a Seattle 24-20 win cause a problem? 44, but Seattle covers.
Yeah, I hear you.
That's why the Buccaneers and over reverse hits on it kills you on both ends. Just enough. Just thread that needle.
Just enough.
This game ain't going to be pretty. The Lions are a 10.5 point favorite on the road in Cincinnati. 49.5 is the number. Goff leads the NFL in passing yards with 5,558 since the start of last season, 18 wins. Jamar Chase has 50 yards or less in 3 of the 4 games this season, had 2 such games all of last year. That might have something to do with the quarterback. And I just want to make this comment here. So I have a lot of people tell me that the reason that Joe Burrow looks good is because of his pass catchers. Okay, let's go with that. Then Jake Browning looks like ass with the same pass catcher. So no, I don't think that that's the case. I still would have taken Penny Sewell over Jamar Chase, and I'll go to my grave saying that. But I give Burrow just a touch of credit here. He's one of the only quarterbacks in the league that I look at as guys who would have been relevant 15 years ago.
I mean, I'm with you on the Penny Sewell.
I know you
are. It's just kind of how the game should be played. Good defense and good offense. I mean, look at what we're watching now on TV, right? You're looking at the Browns have a good offensive line when they're healthy, and they have a really good defense, and they have a dumpster fire quarterback in Dylan Gabriel. But they're winning an NFL football game, right? Against another team that has a dumpster fire quarterback, but their defense isn't as good as the Browns. So, it's going to be interesting to see, what pulls out. And there's that defense sacking Wentz as on cue. That's what wins football games. Jamar Chase, you put Jamar Chase. I'm sorry. Hold on. They had Justin Jefferson and they're losing, right? Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, pick your flavor. I think they're both 1-1 as far as receivers in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
He's not doing anything. I mean, he does stuff to win the game when he is able to impact the game by catching the ball. But other than that, he doesn't. So that defense is on the field all the time. Every play has a chance to make a play. Bengals, they put all their bread into Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase show, and this is kind of what happens. So Browning has regressed after that first week. He's looked awful.
He has.
Oh, yeah.
The Lions are going to win this. They're going to win this big. Get all of your Lions. Jameson Williams, I think he takes the top off today. I mean, it's going to be fun. Get golf in your lineup. I mean, get them all in there. And St. Brown is going to only stop scoring when he's tired. I mean, this is a
who doesn't score today? You got to figure out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. And then you know what's going to happen? This is going to be one of them games where like David Montgomery has. Yeah, David Montgomery scores 4 touchdowns. Golf throws for 100 yards. St. Brown has like 30 yards. No one else does nothing. They win 28-0, and everybody's just sitting there like, okay.
Yep.
Maybe I just talked myself into putting David Montgomery in my lineup over.
Or just put it on the Lions -10, point down, or buy a full point 9.5. Take the Lions at 9.5.
Yeah, I gotta see who I got.
I could really use some. I could use some Chase Brown production, even though that's probably not going to happen.
But that's not you see. But that's
a little bit of something.
So Chase Brown and I have Chase Brown in a bunch of leagues because I love Chase Brown. But here's the problem: when your offensive line stinks and so does your quarterback, they're just going to block you from running.
I hear, but I know the reason, but I have no one else to start. I got to put him in the lineup, and he produces shit. That's what I mean. When you lose these quarterbacks, everyone around them goes to shit.
It's just
Justin Jefferson has over 100 yards today.
Lions are going to roll today, and that's the thing. They just are.
Yeah.
What else can you say? Probably the game of the afternoon, as Jaden Daniels makes his return with the Commanders visiting the 3-1 Chargers. Chargers 2.5-point favorite at home. 47.5 is the number. As I said last week, because Daniels didn't play, Daniels needs 24 rushing yards to be the first quarterback in his first 20 games with 4,000 passing and 1,000 rushing. Quentin Johnston, who was probably the third or fourth, maybe even fourth receiver from the Chargers in your fantasy draft, leads. He is the second Charger ever with 70-plus rushing yards receiving, at least in his first 4 games, I think tied with Antonio Gates. The Chargers spread the ball around impressively well. I don't know that you can say they have a number 1 receiver. So I like that, right? They're running the ball well. I love their quarterback unconditionally. This is going to be a really good team. And with the Ravens now going down, the Chiefs kind of in murky there, to me, it's coming down to them in Buffalo right now as the top 2 teams in the conference. I really believe that. So this is a game that it's probably one of the ones that might be a little bit tougher for the Chargers, but they should get a win here. They're at home again. I don't know how much home field they actually get. If you watch the SoFi with the Niners in town, it was a sea of red. That was embarrassing if you're a Rams fan, by the way.
That's how it's been.
It has been.
The Chargers. I mean, which I don't know. It's so important for football to be in LA for whatever reason, but nobody goes to the game. So, I guess that's just marketing. TV.
We'll see it this week in the Dodgers game. They all show up in the middle of the game, and they all leave before the game.
Trust me, I've been to a Dodgers game, and
no one shows up.
Me and my 2 buddies from Jersey, we got to the Dodgers game. It's just a random Dodgers game, and this was a while ago. No one's there. We're probably like 3 rows off the field. I'm sitting next to some guy from Desperate Housewives, and they're more interested in watching the ball bounce up around on the beach ball bounce up through the stands, and they're cheering for that. Dodger dogs are friggin' disgusting, by the way. They never had a decent hot dog on the East Coast, I guess. And yeah, they don't care, and then they leave by the 7th inning, no matter what the score is.
Yeah.
So it's just sickening that the Phillies lost last night, and now But yeah, you're 100% right. There's no love. I can't bet against the Chargers though, even though they were awful. I mean that game
that cost me money.
Oh god,
that cost a lot. That cost me a lot of money too, Brad, because I had them to close out a number of different parlays, and
I just had them to win. They had the spread. I had them to win.
Exactly, just on the money line, just to win the game.
Right. I live bet parlay and hit every other one, and
I'm watching that game the whole time, and I still felt confident the Chargers were going to win the whole time.
I did too.
I get down to the 3-minute mark. I'm like, you son of a bitches! I can't believe the shit they were doing.
We sat. Me and Ann sat here before the show last week. I'm like, Ann, I got a 16 parlay. Who are you worried about? I gave him all 16 to win. The only one he said he wasn't worried about was the Chargers. Everything else, was like, maybe. He kind of like, the Pats and the Panthers, I'm not too sure, but the Chargers are going to go win.
So. It's common to see, like I said, that West Coast early start, blah, 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 blah.
There's
but when you inject,
there's truth to it.
But as I'm saying, even if you inject a difference in talent and Harbaugh as a coach and the preparation and everything like that, it's Nabers getting hurt. Like, I mean, just didn't make sense that they lost that game. But
it was just something happened to the Giants. I'm telling you, this quarterback came in and it gave the team some kind of boost, gave the crowd a boost. I don't know.
And listen, we all sat here and said how we like Jackson Dart, but I don't.
The team responded. The team responded to him.
Well, I think there is something to be said about that. Yeah. But like they're only what they are, though. I mean, just okay, are they? They're responded. They have life now. They feel like they might have an opportunity to win a game that they might not have thought they had before. So they do kind of get up, and LA takes them a little bit too lightly, and it costs them. But I don't. If LA is going to be the contender that they showed in the first 3 weeks of the season, they beat this Commanders team, and Jaden Daniels is kept in check. McLaren's out again, right? They don't really have the running game is Jaden Daniels. That's about it. This Bill kid is a fraud. I don't know any other receiver out there besides Debo that's going to do something. Yeah, Rodriguez got a little pep into him when he gets the ball, but
he's breaking off some big runs.
I think Marion Hampton continues to sign, and Q Johnson has a big game too.
Would you start Jaden Daniels or Jared Goff?
Jared Goff.
That's where I'm at.
Jared Goff.
I gotta see Daniels play.
Yeah.
You have to see how healthy is. That's 100%. The Chargers. Exactly. Like if just think about this. Jared Goff throws for 400 yards and 4 touchdowns today. Are you surprised? No. And if he's on your bench and he does that, everybody was like, "How do you not start Jared Goff?"
Against the Bengals.
That's
because he might not play the second half.
True. Yeah, you got.
Okay, so he has 250 and 2 touchdowns, which is still more than Daniels probably gets. So but no, I get it, because anytime you have that running threat of Daniels and he's going to be the whole offense, he could go out there and throw for 200 yards and rush for 100 yards and run for 2 touchdowns and wind up having more points than Goff. But I think you have to take the safer bet.
I, for one, am just shocked that Terry McLaurin signed a big contract and that was hurt. I am shocked that Father Time has reached Terry McLaurin, who I was told by somebody outside the box who just loves Terry McLaurin that he's an elite wide receiver, 1,000-yard seasons with shit quarterback. And, when you start talking about 1,000-yard seasons being like 58 yards a game, like nobody really cares, but that's fine.
Well, people that's one of the things too, that like that 1,000-yard metric is always stuck no matter like how many games he played.
It's
even look at Saquon last year. Saquon last year is like, oh, he's going to get the rushing record. Oh, how many games did he play? Like it's ridiculous. But yeah, and I don't dislike Terry McLaurin. I think he's a good, solid wide receiver.
But
is he worth the money? Probably not. I mean, they have a ton of money in McLaren and Debo. But if Jaden Daniels is going to be Jaden Daniels, they needed to make sure that they were there, and now they're not there. So it's a damn if you do situation. But it's you need to get them back in the lineup. And they need to kind of pull out a couple wins, but I don't think it'll be today.
Yeah, I love the Chargers today. -2.5. I think they're gonna. I think a Jim Harbaugh team will bounce back from a bad loss like that, especially at home. So, yeah, I'm rolling with the Chargers today. I like a Quentin Johnson touchdown.
Justin Jefferson, phenomenal catch.
Yeah, plus 175 there for a touchdown. So, yeah, give me the Chargers today.
If you're waiting all day for Sunday night, you're going to get an AFC East battle. The 2-2 Pats, the 4-0 Bills, Buffalo laying 8.5 against their divisional rivals. 4.5 is the number. Drake May is the first New England quarterback with 200-plus passing yards, 100-plus passer rating in 3 straight since this guy they used to have their name, Tom Brady. You may have heard his name once or twice. Josh Allen needs just 1 passing touchdown and 1 rushing touchdown in a game to break a tie of these such games with Cam Newton. My suspicion is at some point, whether that's today or in the somewhat not too distant future, Josh Allen will break this tie with Cam Newton because he's 28 years old and can play forever. Again, I know I put you on the spot a lot, and it's all out of love, Tone, but really no regrets on Caleb Williams over Drake May? Like none? Like zero? Not even like a little. Like I was like a little. Like I like what I see there. Like maybe it's not too sure. I would still do it, but maybe like I'm only like 98%.
Again, I don't know. I don't see anything wrong with Caleb Williams right now. I think he's played good football, and I think it's just his stats are just comparable to Drake. I like Drake as a quarterback. Right. He's a good quarterback, but I'm rolling with Caleb. I think he's played just as well. Hold on.
So if the Bears made it right, we'll give you that. Did the Commanders take the right quarterback?
Yeah.
I'll ask you again. I am a Drake May believer. I see Justin Herbert in Drake. I see Justin Herbert a little bit in Drake May. So like I see where that could go, and I get excited about that. Not that I hate Boston and the Red Sox can go eat a bag, obviously. Thank God. I just like what I see from Drake May, and that's not even a North Carolina thing.
I do too. I think they're 3 really good quarterbacks.
I think it's too early, right? Because is they're building around Drake May the right way, I believe.
They are.
Okay.
I would agree.
I think everything they got Will Campbell. They're doing it. They're building him for long-term career success. Jaden Daniels thrown in there last year, and he played well. And this is a little surprising. Showed off his athletic ability. Was a playmaker, and he played well. And I guess Washington was a surprise team last year. Caleb Williams in his tenure has been more mercurial. I guess we'll use that word, right? He's made some great plays and some great throws. The winning hasn't been there yet, and there's still a lot more question marks. I don't know if they're building around him the right way as they are doing for Drake May for long-term success. Williams gets the stability. So if I have all 3 of them, I probably go Drake May long-term, which I did trade Drake May in Dynasty this week, which that kind of hurt a little bit, but it was a mean to an end of getting Johnny Taylor. But I got Patrick Mahomes in return with Drake May, for Drake May, so I can't be too mad at that. But I don't blame Ant for wanting to see what Caleb Williams can be with some stability underneath.
He's not I still can't comprehend the hate on this guy. I mean, if you look at his numbers, like he's playing good quarterback. I mean, yeah, he's inaccurate sometimes. He holds the ball, but all quarterbacks do. Most of the quarterbacks you see do that. Sure. The guy got sacked 70 times. I think the narrative around Caleb Williams is just crazy to me. Like I'm watching.
Well, he does hold the ball too long. He does hold the ball too long. I mean, and he does ad-lib a lot like a Kyler Murray. I mean, but but that's what I'm saying. That's you got to give him opportunity and maturity. You can't. It's for you to be a hold on Caleb Williams is not surprising because it'd be idiotic to value a quarterback long term after one season.
But look,
it's not real.
and I'm not. I can't even take last year as serious. He had 3 different coaches. It was an absolute disaster. The guy threw for 21 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. I mean, he wasn't losing them games. Like the team around him was just a disaster. So I can't even look at like any other quarterback with a season like that. It folds, absolutely folds. So I mean, from what I'm saying, he's getting better. So I'm fine with it right now.
Well, I mean, if any QB metric you're tasting, though, he's outside the top 10. I believe he's outside the top 10 in QBR. He's outside the top 10 in rating. He's outside the top 10 in passing yards. I mean, it's not like he's lighting the world on fire, though, Ant. But I don't know. I don't think it's all a Caleb Williams issue. I think it's a team issue. And the instability last year, as you mentioned, is there. But, you know,
they got no running game.
There's no That's a Vikings touchdown to Addison. Take the lead with 25 seconds left.
Great 4-yard pass by Carson Wentz, too, by the way.
Fuck, man. No way. I'm going to lose this parlay by 1. Oy.
Would you have the Browns?
No, I needed Junkins to score. Fuck. $10 would have paid $4.50.
Yeah, that was me Thursday night. I needed a Devontae Adams touchdown, 15 to win like 570.
Fucking 8 legs.
Do we all agree that the Bills win this game?
No, not by 8.5.
No. Just to win the game. No, win the game.
I think well, that's the thing. I wanted to mention the line. That line, where did they get that line from? I mean, the Patriots have just come off. Right, and that's different. So, I mean, okay. I mean, this line should be 4.5, 5 at best, I feel. I mean, the 8.5 is just saying something's up there. You know, I think the Patriots got some of their Ramondre Stevenson, friggin' Cobweb is out. You know, I mean, Trey Henderson is back in the game. Diggs had his first in the Diggs revenge game, right? You know, he had his first 100-yard game last week. You know, so I think this is going to be a really good game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Yes, I like the over. It's going to come down to what quarterback makes a play, and you know, you got like Josh Allen to pull that out. So I do think Buffalo wins it, but I like New England to give them a fight on prime time.
So, but let's assume that they win, right? When do they lose?
All right, what do we got here?
When do they lose? They lose at Pittsburgh.
They could lose to Tampa if Tampa comes in. If Tampa's healthy,
Tampa
could give them a problem.
That's a home game. Yeah. I was kind of tongue in cheek about that.
You can't pass Kansas City. You can't pass over Kansas City anytime. Even though they're going there, you can't ever pass over Kansas City.
Okay, but how many losses do you see?
2.
Like if you want to stretch it to maybe 3.
I
mean, does it make it to the Eagles game? Does that even matter?
That's correct, right? That's another question.
I mean? So that's caveat. So I don't. Yeah. If the Eagles game matters, I mean, I think they could beat the Eagles too. But I think. Listen, I said Pittsburgh a little tongue in cheek, but that's the kind of game that you lose. Like as you're sitting there, like as we've seen, like how did San Diego or I'm sorry, LA Chargers lose to the Giants on the schedule? Nobody picks that. It's going to be one of them weird games. The the Jets game, maybe the Jets beat them week 18, and you're kind of and you look back at the schedule and 5 years from now and you figure out how the Jets won. So it's a little weird, but I think I think they are set up to run the table. But do they start resting players, that kind of stuff? But it's going to be interesting to see if I would love this. I would love to see a December 28th game between Philly and Buffalo actually mean something.
Oh yeah, a lot of people would.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah, I mean Kansas City, and then I would be weary of Tampa Bay if they could come in there healthy with some guys back, with Evans back, Bucky Irvin back.
How many weeks from there is 5?
Vikings win 21-17.
Oh, the cover at the end.
3.5, right? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or 2.5.
Yep. Fucking Quinton Junkins had such a great game. Why he didn't fucking? Well, he got a touchdown called back.
Yeah, got called back.
Motherfucker. That's not the way to start the day. Not the way to start the day.
These damn London games. Like I said, listen, would it am I calling 18-0, 17-0? No. I'm just saying like
2
this
to 3. 2, maybe 3.
But to me, realistically, they're going to be the number 1 seed. I don't even have to wait the rest of the season to figure that out. I mean, as long as Josh Allen doesn't kill himself, they're going to be the number 1 seed.
Look at those ticket prices on Kansas City and Philly.
Sure.
If it goes up to 500, if it means something in Philly.
Where is
The ticket
at Cleveland tickets is low,
yeah.
$63 at Cleveland. Wow.
Yeah, I don't think you can even park in Dallas for $63.
No, I think Philly is 50. I think for Eagles games is 50. I heard.
Crazy. Last but not least, a Monday night battle between Patrick Mahomes and Trevor Lawrence. 2-2 Chiefs at the 3-1 Jaguars. If I told you before the season that the Jaguars would have the better record in this game, you would have told me I was high. 3.5's the number, 45.5's the over-under. Mahomes 8-2 career on Monday night. The Jaguars lead the NFL with 13 takeaways and 41 points off of those 13 takeaways. So the defense has been really good for the Jags this season. The Chiefs were left for dead when they were 0-2, and you know how we like to overreact in the NFL. Happens all the time. They're probably going to be 3-2 after this game, so hold the brakes. Just the Chiefs are still the Chiefs until they're not. I mean, I get it. Like, they lost 2 games to start the season. One was in Brazil. Those don't even matter. And then this game in Philadelphia, I guess the Eagles, they easily could have won. I just think people that are looking for the Chiefs' demise are looking for it too much, too quickly.
No, I think Mahomes is playing phenomenal. I think he's got his receiver back now, and Isaiah Worthy, who made an instant impact. I think the other guys are stepping up too. I think Juju Smith had a touchdown. Ty Thornton's getting a touchdown every week. Didn't Hollywood Brown have a touchdown? So I mean, Mahomes is doing it without a running game, and and I think he's okay with that. To be honest with you, I mean, he's going to go out there and spread the ball around. Let
me ask you a question. So, like, I came into this year thinking Pacheco just brings back who he was 2 years ago. Is he just not recovered from the injury well? Like, what is going? He was never this bad.
I think that affected him a lot. I think that was a bad injury.
When he rushed back from injury, I believe, to get back on the playing field. When he came back last year, you could see that he was not running like he used to run at all. It was just awful to watch, right? Because he's a young man that's coming up upon getting a contract.
Yep.
This year, he has a little bit more of that spark back. You could see a little bit the tough runs have come back. I think patience is going to be a big thing with trying to get him involved. Now, is patience something that Kansas City has? I don't know, because they've been leading on Kareem Hunt, but the usage is kind of pretty much the same with what it has been. It's just the productivity hasn't been there. I think it was a fallacy to have Isaiah Pacheco as a number 1 running back in like your regarding him coming into the year as a number 1 fantasy running back. I mean, his draft slot was probably where it should be, but people were trying to think value was there, and that just wasn't going to be the reality situation. Rashard Smith is somebody that they wanted to kind of pepper in the passing game a little bit, and that's kind of been a thing too. But Pacheco, I think he's not running as he was pre-injury, but he's getting back to field now. Is he going to have the opportunity? That's the case, because he has to start matching that production.
Yeah, he was never really speedy either. I mean, he was he ran hard.
Well, he had the fastest 40 time among running backs in his draft class.
Did he?
Absolutely, he ran 4.37. 4.37. So fastest running back time, and he shows speed. But yeah, he runs hard, everything like that. And I like to see him turn around. I think in fantasy purposes, he's a buy candidate. You could get him cheap. Even I picked him up as a free agent in a couple of leagues. Put him on your bench and just see what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, in the auction league that we're in, he's my third running back, so I do have some guys ahead of him, and I picked up Woody Marks, so I can bench him and be fine. It's just frustrating because again, like I think his talent was there. I just don't think he's recovered from this injury, and it's unfortunate because he had every capability of just being who he was 2 years ago, or even who we thought he was going to be this time last year before he got hurt.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with a lot with Kansas City's scheme this year too. I don't think that they really care to have a lead running back. I think this is all Patrick all the time, and they're not really trying to force the running back because I think he is more comfortable with his receivers than he has been in the past, especially last year. And they only went to the Super Bowl, so.
Chiefs cover, Chiefs win. Thoughts?
Yeah,
or is this just begging for like I don't know, 24-21, like that they win by a field goal?
What about your guy Trevor Lawrence outplaying Mahomes? What do you think?
That's probably not going to happen. Again, I maintain that the talent is there. I don't know. Like again, so did Urban Meyer ruin him? I don't know. Again, it takes I don't know. I do think.
I don't think so. I don't
he
think
can be
that.
fine.
We're gonna find. This is a good test for him. It's a good test for him Monday night.
What do you call the win?
Oh yeah,
the Chiefs win. I don't know. The Jaguars don't have a good win under their belt, to be honest with you. I mean, would they beat the Bengals, the Texans, 49ers? I guess you could say was a good win in 49ers, but you see what happened in that game. So I'm not on the bandwagon that the Jaguars are a 3-1 team.
Chiefs are going to find a way to reel off a half a dozen wins here in the middle, pull away. Watch.
I mean, the Chiefs are going to be the Chiefs at the end, right?
If people are looking for that Monday night miracle and they go all in on the Chiefs and then the Chiefs win by 3, just you heard it here first.
Well, if you don't buy the hook, that's your fault.
Yeah,
that's fair. Yes, this has KC by a field goal all over it. It has they're down like 10, and then the Jags score a late touchdown, right, to get within 3, and then like miss the field goal.
I can see that.
That just that's Jaguar.
Brian, you're coming up with all these scenarios for these games today.
Well, I had an espresso on top of my Red Bull, so I'm good right now. Like I'm awake.
So real quick, Travis Hunter, does he have a touchdown?
Is he in the league?
I don't. Yeah.
What a horrible draft pick that was.
Listen, I hate when teams go up and don't take quarterbacks. I hate going up to begin with, but I hate it when you go up and don't take a quarterback.
Yeah,
right?
You got to find the list of the guys that.
I'm sorry.
They passed up on take him.
Well, that's saying they drafted up, and it's like, okay, he's going to be a defensive back, and then it's like now he's a receiver, and he doesn't even have 50 yards or a touchdown in one game this year. So it's kind of like, what are you guys doing? Like it's just. So did you really just trade up to go take a wide receiver number 2? That's idiotic, And a wide receiver that a lot of people didn't say was the best in the draft.
Wasn't even the best one. Yeah.
Right. They said, yeah, he's the best cornerback in the draft, but now they're playing him a wide receiver. I don't know what his snap count is, but the most impact is going to be at.
Does he even have 10 catches? Does he even have double-digit catches? I mean,
in a game?
No, I mean total. I mean,
He's got
rarely.
He's got 13 catches in 4 games for 118 yards combined. But that's the thing.
He's probably doing just as good as Michael Thomas Jr.
Well, Slant Boy ain't been in the league in a while, but Brian Thomas is.
I'm sorry, Brian Thomas. Yeah.
But you're right. So. I mean, and on offense, Travis Hunter's touching the ball right as much as he is. So why wouldn't we just put him on defense and then sprinkle him in for 10, 15 plays, a game, and just have him be a permanent defensive player instead of having him out there on offense all the time and not using him. It doesn't make sense. I mean, you could hand the ball off to Etienne or Bashan Tuen, who I do like for anytime touchdown this week. And throw the ball whoever you want to throw to when he's on the sideline resting. So that makes more sense to me. I mean, that's how most corners do it. And that gives you more value because right now you want him as a full-time wide receiver at the number 2 pick. You're never recouping that value.
I think that maybe they took him because they're getting 2 players out of him. I never thought that it made any sense having played both ways in the NFL. Like, I just thought that was not. Like, yeah, I mean, there are probably some receivers who can play decent corner and vice versa. That doesn't mean they do it. I didn't like it at the time.
There's more corners that could play receiver than receivers that could play corner.
Correct.
Yeah. So, real quick again, as you can see the hat in my hoodie, I don't care about your baseball team, not even a little bit. So, like, where are you? I know, where are you with that? Like, are you concerned? Like, I don't think tomorrow bodes well.
Are you concerned? Brian, who was favored the World Series before the playoffs started?
I think it was the Phillies.
Brooklyn Dodgers plus the Dodgers plus 275. Okay, and that's our first round opponent. So I was concerned from day one. Plus they got Freddie Freeman that always killed the Phillies. And then the Phillies go out there and blow the game last night. It was awful. I mean, you could see that Strome was about to give up a home run. I mean, he was just like high fastball.
Apparently, what I saw. And I was watching that game.
The pitches.
They tipped the So the whoever was on second saw the whole grip and everything, and I guess signaled to Hernandez, who knew it was coming, and he landed in the bleachers.
I mean, the coaching decisions. I mean, I'm worried about that. I don't know. This last night sucked. That was so bad.
I don't know. I think that. I don't care who wins. I genuinely do not. Like, yes, I hate the Eagles. Yes, I hate the Flyers. Couldn't care less about the Sixers or the Phillies. I'm a Yankee fan. They play in a different league. I couldn't care less. I don't think last night bodes well at all.
No, well, our first 3 batters didn't do shit. The first of our 3 players don't do anything.
And they didn't look shit. They looked like minor leaguers.
Yeah,
minor leaguers. Otani is bouncing balls up there that Schwarber's swimming at. I mean, it was.
But isn't that what lost the series to the Mets too? Like the Mets kept throwing balls and they would just keep
they
swinging.
kept swinging. Yeah, I don't know.
Well, they were missing strikes too, though. That's the problem. They were missing strikes. They were missing balls. I mean, they were just missing. And
they had the Dodgers right where they wanted them.
Yeah,
they had them right where they wanted
exactly.
Yeah, I mean, it started off hot.
I mean, how many times are you gonna strike out Otani? 4 times. I mean, seriously. It's not gonna.
That's not gonna happen again, right?
Like an anomaly, yeah. Like, I mean, you had them right where you wanted them, and I don't know. I'm not a Robinson guy. I don't agree with him going in the game. So that's not even.
Well, I don't. It's from everything that it's not really. Robinson is just the mouthpiece of the analytics behind everything. I mean, he has no say in the lineups. He has no say in the pitching moves. No anything. Which is also disheartening. I mean, your team's run by ChatGPT or Grok or Midjourney, or I could go on and on with all these other AI tools that we use. But it's just it takes the feel out of the game a lot of times, and it's some head scratching moves that. Well, the numbers back it. Well, guess what? The numbers can't fucking express the feel of the 60,000 people and stand in the vibe of the game, and that's the difference.
Meanwhile, I don't see the Blue Jays winning 2 more games in this series simply because the pitching matchups now favor the Yankees.
Favor the Yankees.
Yeah, they get Fried today. They'll win today. They get Rodon in game 3, Schlittler in game 4, and then Fried in game 5 if there is one. And one of those games is going to be a bullpen game for the Blue Jays. That does not bode well for them. So I do think the Yankees win this series in 4 or 5. I thought that coming in, I said I think this is their hardest game of the series because of the way the pitching lined up.
Yeah.
So
playoff baseball, man, it's intense.
It's the best. Listen,
I'm the first every pitch you're hanging by every.
So I get a lot of flack for this. I don't generally watch much regular season baseball at all because I genuinely don't care. My team has won 27 times. If you can't make the playoffs, go fuck yourself. Like that this is the base expectation that you get in. Okay. Yeah. After that, we'll talk about it. As I always say about being a Yankee fan, Green Day wrote a song about it called "Wake Me Up When September Ends." So
you're saying take all the money everybody wins on the 1:00 games and put it on the Yankees.
I don't know. If the Yankees lose today, they deserve to lose the series. It's Max Fried on the mound. Max Fried was awesome against the Red Sox, and it was Aaron. Now Aaron Boone is the wild card. Aaron Boone's an idiot.
So tell me who the Toronto pitcher is, if you can pronounce his name.
Well, the Toronto.
Oh, I know. Yeah. Go ahead.
I didn't see them. Did the Mariners?
Oh,
did the
Trey.
Mariners win last night?
It's either Yesavage or Yesavage.
Yes. So yeah, exactly. So I said if you can pronounce his name, exactly. So it's a huge advantage. Take everything you have and put it on the Yankees today, per Brian Attard.
Doesn't take this is not financial advice, but feel free to mortgage your house and
Well, aren't you a fiduciary now?
This is not investment advice.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, I am.
Yeah, because you do have a fiscal responsibility.
I do.
With that title.
I do.
So.
As a certified financial planner, I'm a fiduciary.
Gotcha.
I'm not recommending an investment. I'm recommending a wager.
It's the way you work.
Definitions matter.
I'll have to look up the FCC rules on that one.
Yeah. Well, in any event, enjoy your football Sunday. If you're watching baseball at 4:00 like I am, enjoy your baseball Sunday. And guess what? The NHL starts on Tuesday.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm actually going to a hockey game on the 20th, which
a Devils game.
No, it's a
hockey
Flyers
games are fun.
work. No, Fire. Listen, the hockey games are.
The Seattle Kraken.
The Kraken, yes, the Kraken.
That's the newest team.
Yeah, it's okay. But
I don't like teams that don't end in a plural. Generally speaking, I'm not a fan of that.
I could get down with that.
All right, make it a profitable Sunday. We'll catch you next week. I think Drew's still sleeping, but in his defense, it's not even 10 a.m. where he is.
Listen, has there been a wellness check since they lost to the Giants? That's all I want.
That's fair. And then the Padres,
yeah,
that's what's in, right? Bunch of losers.
Imagine having a bullpen. Imagine having a bullpen like the Padres and losing. Oh my God. Or a lineup.
Yeah. So.
Gotcha. All right, gentlemen.
Hi, boys. We'll see you.
See you later.